Let's get cracking because we have got a lot to go through today. So welcome everybody to our April 2025 product update. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. This is all about the new features. So upcoming features in your accessplanit platform.
So, you know, this session is being recorded. So if you have to dash in the middle, hopefully you won't because you'll be so engaged. You want to stay with it.
It's so exciting what we've got to say.
But if you have to dash in the middle, this will be available on demand a bit later today when they edit us and cut all the bits that we should have said.
All like that.
Yes, yeah. And if you have any questions, please submit them on the Q&A and we'll address them at the end. And if there are any that we can't address, we'll get back to you later. And if you've forgotten to ask any questions, you can get in touch with one of us later on.
We're always available for questions. Sometimes things come back to you later. So yeah, as I've said before, this is all about taking you through that latest functionality that's available to you in the platform, giving you a view of what is to come in the future as well. So we will be kicking off with the new features from the last quarter. Elu will then be giving you a tour of what's to come in our now, our next and our later. And then we'll go through any questions, as Elu said, on the new functionality or the now, next and the later at the end. So about us. So I'm Helen. For those of you that don't know, I am the Commercial Customer Success Manager here at accessplanit. I have been with the company 3 years tomorrow. It is my anniversary.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I lead all the commercial management, so the renewals, the service reviews, anything to do with those commercials. Yeah, that's me. Elu?
I'm Eleonora, is my full name. That's when they're telling me off, they say Eleonora, but they call me Elu for short. I'm the product manager at accessplanit, and I will be taking you through the now, next, later roadmap later on.
Super. So let's start today's webinar with the new features which are already available to you. So our March release was applied to your live platforms either last week or very early this week. So these new features are brand new, but immediately available to you. So there were 3 big new features that were rolled out as part of this release. So we had API version 2 feeds and webhooks, yay. Updates for trainers in the trainer portal and new quick edit tool available in DataGrids. Lots to talk about, but let's hit V2 API feeds first.
Ooh, funky.
Isn't it? So accessplanit API feeds are a great way to integrate with the other systems within your accessplanit platform to streamline all of those operations. So the new API feeds allow you to integrate your information with other software in use with your organization. So this could be integrating employee or customer-based data within your HR system, VLEs and CRMs. It could be integrating your invoice or your payment data with an accounting or finance system, or it could be integrating your course data, your opportunity data with your website and your inquiry forms. The purpose of the API feeds is to support your integrations and to avoid that data rekeying and rekeying. And then also, of course, that human error that comes with that. So it's ultimately going to save you time. Of course, it's going to save you money as well, and hopefully provide a better experience to you and to your customers. So first, what is the difference between V1 and the new V2 feeds? So your accessplanit API access now mirrors your DataGrids. So this means that the same positions that control what you can see and do in the platform also apply to your API feeds. If you can view, create, edit, or delete an item in a data grid, then you can do the same with API V2. So that gives you as much access to more data and many more actions. So also V2 feeds give you full control over the data that you can work with. So you can view records, you can create new ones, edit existing records, You can even delete them, provided your access allows it, of course. You can choose which fields to include in your responses, reducing the unnecessary data and improving the performance of your integrations. You can also access your custom fields, meaning that your integrations can be tailored to your processes, pulling in the exact data that you need. Filtering and sorting have also had a major upgrade. So in V2, you can apply both and or operators to refine your queries, which will make it much easier to retrieve exactly the right data. So plus with sorting options using order by, you can structure your results in the most meaningful way for your integrations. So an example of this is with a website integration, you probably want to display your courses in start date order. This is now the kind of thing that you're able to tailor. And finally, with records counting built in, your API calls can return not just the data, but can also count how many records match your criteria. So this will make it easier to manage. You say it for me.
Pagination.
Pagination, thank you. I did practice that before, but I knew I was going to get it wrong. And overall optimize your data processing. So to summarize, compared with the V1 feeds, API version 2 gives you more flexibility, more efficiency, and a more powerful way to connect accessplanit with other systems. Webhooks now. So what are webhooks? Right. So webhooks are a way for two applications or systems to communicate and exchange information in real time without needing to rely on that constant request for updates. So webhooks are triggered based on events that are actually happening in your platform. So a new user is created, or a new course is updated, for example, or a delegate is deleted, those kind of updates. So these are events that can trigger a webhook. For example, if you have a website integration which pulls course information from your accessplanit platform to display on your website, with API feeds, you can request course information periodically. So every 5-10 minutes to make sure your website runs up to date. So this would run whether any changes have been made in the courses or not. However, with webhooks, you wouldn't need to run your API request every few minutes because you would have webhooks to inform you when the changes are made. So for example, if a course is cancelled or a venue is changed, the webhooks would then make the changes. So this means that your system only receives updates when something changes rather than constantly checking for updates that might not exist. So there are 3 key benefits to using the webhooks. So the real-time updates, simplified integration, improved data accuracy. Also, faster updates, reducing API usage. So the system isn't making unnecessary API calls, reducing that server load and improving performance. So you're going to be able to see that in real time. Also, the changes in accessplanit are pushed into your system instantly, ensuring that your data is always up to date. And because the updates are sent only when you need, there's fewer API calls, which can help with the rate limits. So I won't get into the detail of how to create a webhook. Jack and Jenna from our team have covered this in the webinar in January, which you can find on our website if you want to watch that at any time. So it's available on demand if you want to watch it back. I know we've been sending this off to quite a few customers. I know they've been working with it in the background to get the information. So moving on to our second feature. So we have rolled out many improvements to the trainer portal in the March update. Here are the headlines. So we have task management. The admins can now assign tasks to your trainees so that they can track and manage their course-based actions. So additionally, trainers can create their own tasks for any extra work that they want to record and manage. From the new task page that you can see here, the trainer portal, your trainers can manage, monitor and progress and create their tasks. They can also click to switch board toggle that you can see on the top right of the tasks page to access the board view, as you can see here, where they can update their tasks by dragging and dropping them.
Yeah, this is called really visual way of managing your tasks.
Which loads of people work in that way, and we're quite familiar with that as well in the way that everybody works now. So with this new functionality, you can set your trainers pre and post course tasks. You can check on the process of their tasks. Trainers can set their own additional tasks and communicate updates via notes and files on the tasks. The second improvement to the trainer portal is the introduction of new placeholders page for each of their courses. So the new page will show your trainers a placeholder data grid where they can see if there are any additional spaces booked, but not yet assigned to those delegates. So this helps trainers to understand and expected attendance, even when a participant's names are still pending. Sometimes you don't know that name straight away. The third improvement for your trainers is to access the new pages, which gives them an overview of the course and delegates. So they don't need to open lots of different screens, documents to gather that information. The first overview page is the course details. So let's just zoom in and take a better look. Perfect. So basic course information, as you can see, such as the name, the date, the status are on the top. Then we have course location, information below, which will show the venue or the webinar joining details if it is a webinar. This page will also include exclusivity information in the course, if the course is being run for a specific customer. And finally, there is also an actions button available at the top of the page where the trainer can generate the course, register and sign-in sheet. The other new page is an overview of the delegate details. So if you have granted a trainer edit access to delegate details, the page for them will allow them to make the changes to the delegate's content information and the status of the course. If you haven't granted them edit access, instead the page will show them a read-only view. And the last headline that we're going to cover for the trainer portal improvement is access to custom field information. Your course and delegate-based custom fields can now be shared with your trainers, meaning they can access them from their data grids in the trainer portal. And so in this example, we have shared the course-based custom fields course cohort with trainers. So this can be added to a column in the data grid. And it's very easy to share this custom field with your trainers. You just edit your custom field and use the share with modules option to include the trainer module. So there is more that has improved in the trainer portal, but there's only so much that we can cover. So we will have to cut it off there so we don't keep you all day. So the third major feature.
I love this.
Have you been waiting for this?
It gets me excited.
Okay, so the third major and clearly Ellie's favourite feature in our March update is the quick edit tool. So there is a new option available in your data grids that gives you the ability to manage your data much faster. With Data Grid Quick Edit, you can update information without needing to navigate away from your data grids. This means that you can make the changes instantly, keeping your data accurate and up to date with very little effort. So let's have a look at how quickly we can change the status of a course. So we're in the course data grid. and we find the course that we want to update. We click on the new quick edit button on the right side of the data grid, and we use the information to save. See, that happened so quick that I couldn't even say it as quick as the action. So as you can see, very quickly, the status was updated.
Very efficient, Helen.
I needed to just speak a little bit quicker there. So a few key things for you to know about our quick edit tool. It includes the columns that you have included in your data grid. It will also include any columns that are needed for validation. For example, here we can see that end date has been included even though it's not in the data grid, because start date has validation on it to make sure that it's not after the end date. And if there will be any columns included in your data grid that you can't edit, they will be included, but they will be read-only, of course. So those are our three major new features. We have talked about the API v2 feeds and those webhooks, the changes and new features available in the trainer portal for your trainers, and the quick edit tool, which should speed up so many processes. But that isn't all that was included in our March release. Here are our honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions, they deserve to be mentioned.
They do, and we couldn't leave them out. So if you need to cancel placeholder, you no longer need to cancel the associated delegate separately. A new cancel delegate option is now available in the cancel placeholder window. This option can be used to cancel both the placeholder and its delegate in one step. The option is checked by default for a smoother cancellation process. If you have MFA enabled in your accessplanit platform, you can adjust the default 120-day MFA reauthentication period. And you can increase or decrease this to better match your internal policies. Everybody has a different amount, so you can make sure it's set to what you're needing to keep to that policy. So another security update, training administrators can no longer impersonate the super administrators. So this makes sure that it's restricted areas for your platform and they remain protected. Super admins can now customize the information shown in the select delegate screen in checkout, providing you with much more information to make sure the right people are assigned to the course. The setting to change this is in the checkout option page in administration. And finally, custom field changes can now be included in audit trails. So this is great for visibility and accountability of all those key data updates. This enhancement applies to custom fields within modules that already support auditing, such as courses and delegates. In a custom field, if a custom field is updated on a course or delegate, for example, you'll now have a clear record of who made that change and when. Modules that don't yet support the auditing, such as meetings and notes, will also not support the auditing custom fields. To set the auditing of a custom field, edit it from your custom field data grid and check the new include in audit logs option. Nice and clear. So here is a recap of our honourable mentions. So the cancel delegate alongside placeholders, which is very cool. Configure the numbers of days until the MFA reauthentication. Training admins can no longer impersonate the super admins. Checkout, define the searching criteria for my delegates. View when an admin or trainer has changed the custom fields value. So full details of these and the other features that didn't quite make the cut for this webinar, unless we wanted to make it hours long, have been detailed on our What's New page in the knowledge base. So you have immediate access to all of that. Please get in touch with a member of the accessplanit team if you need a link for this. We mention it all the time on calls, but if anybody needs any help, please reach out. Over to you, Elu.
Cool.
I will pass the mouse.
pass a mouse, pass a button.
A little drink.
So, thank you, Helen. This is all that now is available in your platform as of very recently. So very exciting improvements, enhancement, new functionality to help you work more efficiently and spend time on the things you need to spend time and let the platform do all the other bits that are time consuming. So we're going to talk about the now, next, later. So what's in the future? What are we working on? What will be coming? And we do that usually. Let me see where I click here. There we go. Very briefly, because I bet you're fed up of hearing me talk about what is now, what is next, what is later.
Never. We love
it. Fed up of it. If you came to connect, I went through this again. So anyway, we work with a roadmap of now, next, later, where all the developments are structured in these three broad time horizons. And then now, all the things on the now are things that we're working on. They're fully spec'd and defined. Next is what we'll be working on next. So it's a bit less fully spec'd and designed, with just finishing some tweaks to see how it's going to work. And then later are things that I love to say, they are more fluffy.
They're fluffy.
They're fluffy. So they're on the stage where we're thinking about it. What are the problems? How can we solve them? So they're a bit rough, the ideas. So I'm going to take you through what is in each of these stages. Sorry if I'm rushing, but Helen took a lot longer than you said you were going to take.
I did actually.
You did actually. I've only got 8 minutes. Right, let's go. So, roadmap on the move. I love this. This is my favorite bit. So this is the roadmap as it was when we did this same presentation in Q4 last year. And this is how it is now. Look at that. Look at the screen. Well,
no, I always love it.
The really positive thing, I'm going to go back, is that things are moving in the right direction. So from later to next, next to now, now to launch. Not always everything moves on that direction. We may be working on something and then we hit a massive risk or a hurdle we weren't expected. So they might move back, or things might even be taken out of the roadmap. So a roadmap is for guidance, and it's not fully set in stone. It's only set in stone when it's launched. So in the launch, we have, that was last time. Now you'll see that a lot of the things in the now are that were in the now is what Helen talked to you about. And move to the launch. We'll do that again. So yes, a lot moved to launch, what Helen went through with you. New things appear on the now, new things on next, and new things on later. I'm going to go through them one by one. So now, so we have a few things on the now we're working on, and they are partially cooked, not fully cooked, not ready to come out of the oven yet, but nearly. So an upgrade on the administration menu, and create recurring courses has been moved. I don't have screenshots because there's a lot to say.
Yeah.
So we will get screenshots and more detail as things get launched to you. But I'll show you a way where you can see each of these with a little bit more detail on the portal. Stay tuned. There we go. So enhanced Google Analytics integration with discount data, which is something you guys have been asking for. A few more improvements to placeholders. We have been working on placeholders all through 2024 of a couple little things left in there. Custom field, view and edit, deliver custom fields for e-learning courses. Well, these are like smaller. I would put them on Helen's honourable mentions if I had to put them like that. The biggest, chunkiest, most exciting, we make a lot more difference to you are the bottom two. And you think, well, why did I put them on the bottom? If they're the most exciting, the ones that, you know, will make a difference to your life. I put them on the bottom because although we're working on them, they are big, big developments. So they might not go out as soon as the things on the top. And these two are DataGrid views. I know that, you know, after the quick edits, this is my next favorite thing, where you'll be able to create views for each DataGrid that help you do each of the jobs you do. So select different columns and then save that set of columns as a view. and then combine it with filters. Well, it's really cool development. It's very laborious, but it's going to be amazing. It's worth the time. And the second bit is the calendar. So we're working a new calendar for courses. Helen is smiling. For courses, resources, and trainer. I'm jangling. Jenna's going to turn me off. I put these bangles, I locked them there so they didn't make a noise, but I didn't realize I got some others that made a little noise. Never mind. So the new calendar, we're working the new calendar again, big development. That's why it's at the bottom. We work on releases, and it's going to take more than one release to get all this out because it's a lot of testing. We don't want to get things out without testing thoroughly. So moving on to the next funky slide. Oh, yes.
And really exciting things.
No. Many things going on next. The first chunk are integrations. We're working on our off-the-shelf native integrations with SurveyMonkey, Power BI, HubSpot, Salesforce, MailChimp, Teams, Zoom, Campaign Monitor. All that is, we are working on it, but on the early stages at the moment. That's why it's in next. Then also in our connectivity part of the strategy, we are working on build, which is we are building a sample commercial site using the APIs to show you what you could do and have the control to build your own thing. Multi-select list drop-down custom fields, custom field where you could select more than one option. I've got 3 minutes, let's get going. Custom fields in another 2 areas of the platforms, and I'm going to bundle the next few. Is we are working on improvements on DataGrids, the small things that can make a big difference. So we're working in the communications data grid, the bookings, smart grid, and the opportunities, which I didn't put here because I didn't have enough space. So I had to make the font smaller to shove everything I could. So there are more things than these we're working on, but I just couldn't put them all on the same screen. For example, in the communications, we're working on putting in there where is the communication originated from. So if the communication was triggered by workflow, you'll have a column with the workflow ID, and when you click it, it'll take you to the workflow, so you can work out, oh, why was it triggered? It's a workflow, right? And I think that's really impactful for problem solving when you think, why did someone receive this or that? Anyway, I need to crack on. We got some others that you can rewatch this webinar and read because I've got no time. And then on the later stage, I've got something else to say actually I made some notes, but I'm terrible from going off script. Have I got anything else to say? No, it's on the next one. I have something to say. On the later stage, this is. So there's 2 things that have moved from later to the under consideration, and these are more enhancements to the trainer portal and role sets for trainers. They move from later to under consideration, which is like a later stage. But we have new things in the later. Again, they make me excited. So we're working hard on report engine and dashboard enhancements, charts as dashboards. I know a lot of people want, like you see, more visual. Lots of enhancements. I'm not going to go through them now, but to the report engine and the dashboards to help you display information better, see what you need to see to then take action. Some work on the opportunities module. I know I'm talking with my hands a lot, sorry. And cloning, I like this one. I think it'll save time. The ability to clone course templates, courses, and email templates, and also configurable tax rates for the customers who sell courses to Europe or different type of courses that could be exempt or different tax rates. So that's what we're working on. You can find all of this on our product portal if you go to help, product roadmap. So the roadmap is in the portal. You can see here, you'll have the now, next, later tabs. When you click, you see the cards, which everything I've told you ish, because I'm still a little bit behind on writing those cards, so but they will be there soon. I had to move everything. It's a big job.
Yeah, it is a big job.
So I'm a little bit behind on writing cards, so watch your space. But you should be able to see all the cards in there and see what we're working on. And also, on the launch tab, you can see what was released. As Helen said in there, that little link, what's new March, is what we just released. If you click in there, it takes you to the knowledge base with all the detailed information about all the release, all the things that enhancements, improvements, and new functionality Helen went through. So in each of the cards, you can see a bit of content, and you can interact with us by clicking at the bottom and writing, why would this be good for you? Tell us about your problems, because we would like to know whether we'll be able to solve those problems with what we're thinking of doing. So the more you tell us the problem, what can't you do? What is your pain? What do you want to achieve that you can't? Tell us all of that. When you type in there and you send it, it comes straight to the product team, and we read every single one of your comments and votes every week, which you probably are fed up of me saying as well.
No, it's brilliant that you read everyone.
We do.
Yeah.
So if what you are looking for is not on those cards already, you can submit a new idea. On the top right, you click submit new idea, and you tell us about what is that you need. I know I've watched it, but you can watch it again.
Yes, and apologies that we've overrun. I think for everybody that had a hard stop at 10:30, they can watch the video, because we'll have this on demand, and I'll go quicker next time so that Elu doesn't have to go so quick.
Yeah, it's a fault.
I did practice and time it, but yeah.
Right, questions then. Let's see if we have some questions. We've got a few, the Q&A.
Yeah.
Is it? No, that's a chat. Hold on a minute. Well, while Helen is looking for the questions, I can tell you we've had, is it in the mall? Yeah,
Q&A. Well done.
So we got one just coming on. DataGrids views is from an anonymous attendee. Hello, anonymous attendee. I don't know who you are, but thank you for being there. I hope you're still there. You haven't left. Do you know if we'll be able to set a given customized view as the default view for that data grid? Where as a default view, when we get in DataGrids views, no, you will be able to save your views, but the default view is the one that comes with the platform. Although if you have a list of columns that you would like them to be default, you could create a view called default view. So you just click there, and that is your default. And you can share this, super admins can share these views with others. So if you want everyone to have this same view, you can share it with them. There will be a lot more detail on this as we move things from, because as we move them more onto the more finished stage, because there's some bits that we're finishing the tweaking and defining. So we got another couple of questions that we've had. Can I access historical data in the API v2 feeds, Helen?
Yes. Yes, you can. You can adjust your filters of your requests to include or exclude historical data. So that's entirely up to you.
And then the last one, and I'll answer it really quickly. How can I access the API v2 feeds? You need to purchase the module, get in touch with your CSM to talk about it, and they'll explain everything about it. But it's ready for you. If you want to get API v2s, get in touch with a CSM today, and you could have it.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
so what we're doing as CSMs as well, everybody, there's so many people that are interested in it and have been pre-working on our alpha release. So we'll be sending an email out asking if anybody wants a quote, and then should that come back, we'll be switching on and supporting that. So we'll be in touch, but of course you're welcome to get in touch with us as well.
Great. If you got more questions and you haven't thought about them, just get in touch with us. We're always happy to answer. If you had any ideas, any thoughts, if it's to do with product, new ideas, or you want to interact with us about upcoming developments, go in the portal, interact that way, or talk to anyone of the team.
And that's it. So thank you so much for attending. Again, apologies for overrunning for those that had hard stops at past. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. And we'll see you again next time.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.